Hello all, Shadwell here, ready to talk about the next film in my collection, Captain Underpants, the first epic movie from 2017. It's directed by David Soren and stars Kevin Hart and Thomas Middleditch. This movie has such a long title and a confusing one at that. I keep wanting to call it Captain Underpants the Epic First Movie, and so every time I type it I have to check myself to make sure I'm typing it correctly. God knows how many times I'm going to record saying it wrong too. I do die a little inside every time I have to say the complete title because it isn't just the first epic movie in the Captain Underpants franchise, it's the only one. So far. But it's been 6 years, this was recorded in September of 2023, and there are still no plans for a follow-up, so really it should just be called Captain Underpants and that be it, and then the concept of there being more wouldn't sting nearly as much. As you can probably tell from that rant, I'm a big fan of this film. It just feels authentic to what that age felt like. I remember being that old and having a best friend, constantly being separated in class, although we never drew a comic book, but in 4th grade I wrote my first script with a part in it for everyone in class, and on the last day of class we performed it. Although I don't remember all of the specifics of it because my memory sucks, but the very act of it happening is brought to my mind by watching this movie, which is probably why I own it. But I also find it funny and charming, which is probably more reason that I own it. It's about two very creative troublemakers that hypnotize their party pooper principal into becoming their created comic book hero, Captain Underpants. I can't recommend watching this highly enough because, like I said before, I feel its voice is very authentic to what it felt like being in that age range. Adults were the buzzkills, school was the devil, recess was king, and there was nothing worse than being separated from your best friend because a day would feel like forever back then as your concept of time was still sketchy at best. Plus, the cast is great. They got some great voices for this film, including Kevin Hart, Thomas Middleditch, Ed Helms, Kristen Schaal, Jordan Peele, and Nick Kroll. And when you want something animated to really come off the page, Nick Kroll is your guy as his voice work is always funny perfection. Hell, the end credits song is even a theme song and done by Weird Al Yankovic, and it is a solid bop that keeps me watching the first half of the end credits. Love everything about this film, but it isn't high art or anything, so I can't see giving it over a B+. So that's why I'll give it maximum silly points for a B+. And tomorrow we stay in animated territory with 1985's The Care Bear Movie. See y'all then.